A rising singer stood backstage at the Grammy Awards, watching Michael Jackson accept Album of the Year. He turned to a music producer and said loud enough for others to hear, "That's not talent. That's just hype and a massive budget. I'm the real artist here." 2 weeks later, he spread a lie to a tabloid that would nearly destroy Michael's career. 8 years later, that same singer sat on a Los Angeles street corner, homeless, holding a cardboard sign. Then Michael Jackson's car stopped in front of him. The Sabotage, February 22, 1988. Shrine Auditorium, Los Angeles. The 30th Grammy Awards, 9:43 p.m. David Matthews stood backstage, champagne in hand, watching the monitors. 32 years old, rising R&B singer. 2 albums released, 1 top 40 hit. Critics called him the next big thing, but he lived in Michael Jackson's shadow. Every article about David ended with, "But he's no Michael Jackson." On the monitor, Michael walked to the stage to accept Album of the Year for Bad. 3-minute standing ovation. The entire auditorium on its feet. David's hands gripped the glass so hard it almost cracked. His jaw clenched, watching Michael smile, wave, accept the trophy with that humble grace that made everyone love him. Robert Martinez, a music producer, stood next to him. "Hell of a night for Michael." "Is it, though?" David said sharply. "That's marketing. A massive budget. Machine-made success. I've got more raw talent than he has." Martinez raised an eyebrow but said nothing, just walked away. David watched Michael give his acceptance speech, humble, gracious, thanking everyone. David hated him, hated how easy it seemed, how effortless, how inevitable. 3 days later, February 25th, David sat at Epic Records, his manager, Linda Chen, beside him. Label executive James Wilson was direct. "David, we're not renewing your contract." David's stomach dropped. "What? Why?" "Your last album underperformed. Sales were weak. We're shifting resources to other artists." "You mean Michael Jackson?" David said, standing up. "I'm being dropped so you can throw more money at him. I'm just as good, better even, but he gets everything and I get nothing." "David, sit down," Linda said. But David was already walking out, slamming the door behind him. He sat in his car for an hour, hands gripping the steering wheel, rage building like pressure in a sealed container. 2 weeks later, March 10th, David sat in a coffee shop with Rebecca Foster, tabloid journalist for the National Enquirer. "You said you had a story about Michael Jackson," Rebecca said, pen ready. This was the line. Once crossed, no going back. "I do," David said. "I've worked with people who have been on Michael's tours. Engineers, backup singers, they all say the same thing." "What's that?" "Michael lip syncs. Everything. Every live performance. He can't actually sing live. His voice is too weak. It's all pre-recorded." Rebecca's eyes widened. "Can you prove that?" "I have sources, studio engineers, backup singers, people who've been there." David had no sources. He was making it all up. Complete fabrication. But Rebecca didn't know that. "Michael Jackson is a fraud," David lied. "The biggest fraud in music, and the world deserves to know." The article ran 2 weeks later. Michael Jackson, the lip-sync lie. Industry insiders reveal he can't sing. Livid exploded. Millions of copies sold. Every tabloid picked it up. Entertainment news covered it for weeks. Michael's team issued strong denials, but the damage was done. 3 concerts were canceled. Sponsors pulled back. His reputation took a hit. David watched it unfold. Felt vindicated. Felt powerful. He did interviews, carefully. People are asking legitimate questions. Where there's smoke, there's fire. His name was back in the news. Producers called. A new label expressed interest. David thought he'd won. He had no idea what he'd done. Time shift. 8 years pass. The lie is exposed. David's career collapses. December 7th, 1996. Downtown Los Angeles, corner of 5th and Main, 6:42 p.m. David Matthews sat on cold concrete, back against a brick wall, holding a cardboard sign. Homeless. Anything helps. God bless. 40 years old, unshaven, unwashed, wearing a torn jacket and jeans with holes in both knees. 8 years had destroyed him completely. The lie had worked for 6 months. He'd gotten meetings, interest, momentum. Then it unraveled. Journalists dug deeper, found no sources, no evidence, no engineers willing to verify. Michael's team released comprehensive documentation. Audio engineers testified under oath. Video evidence proved Michael sang live, always had. Every performance. The truth came out. David had fabricated everything out of jealousy. The new label dropped him immediately. Radio stations blacklisted him. Other artists refused to work with him. He was labeled untrustworthy, a liar. His reputation destroyed overnight. He tried to apologize, wrote letters to Michael, all returned unopened. He tried to rebuild. No one would touch him. Money ran out. Rent went unpaid, evicted, car repossessed. He spiraled hard, alcohol, depression, gave up completely. By 1994, David was on the streets. By 1996, he'd been homeless for 2 years. He'd sit on that corner every day, same spot, 5th and Main, watching people walk by. Most ignored him. Some gave change. No one recognized him. December 7th, 7:15 p.m. A black Mercedes pulled up to the curb. Expensive, tinted windows, engine idling. David didn't look up. Rich people sometimes threw money from cars. The back window rolled down. David? David looked up, squinted, couldn't see the face clearly in the dim evening light. David Matthews. David's heart stopped. He knew that voice he'd tried to destroy. The door opened. A man stepped out. Black jacket, black hat pulled low. Sunglasses, even though it was nearly dark. He removed the sunglasses slowly. Michael Jackson. David couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Michael knelt down, right there on the filthy sidewalk, eye level with David. It's you. I thought that was you. I wasn't sure, but it's you. David's hands started shaking. Michael, how long have you been out here? David couldn't answer. His throat was closing. 8 years of guilt crashed over him. How long, David? 2 years, David whispered. Maybe longer. I stopped counting. Michael looked at him for a long moment. David saw it all in his eyes. The memory, the lie, the pain it had caused. Michael remembered everything. I'm sorry, David choked out. God, Michael, I'm so sorry. What I did, it was all lies. Every word. I was jealous. I destroyed you because I couldn't handle my own failure. I deserve this. I deserve to be here. This is karma. This is justice. Tears streamed down David's face. Years of guilt pouring out. I ruined your reputation. I hurt you, and I've been living with that every single day for 8 years. I deserve this. Michael didn't speak, just looked at David. Not with anger, not with satisfaction, with sadness. Stand up, Michael said. What? Stand up, David. David struggled to his feet. His legs were weak, shaking. Michael's driver, Frank Martinez, stood by the car, watching. Frank, help me get him in the car. Michael, no, David said. You don't have to. You shouldn't. Get in the car, David. Why? Why would you help me after what I did, after how I tried to destroy you? Michael looked at him directly. Because leaving you here doesn't undo what you did. It doesn't heal what you broke. It just adds more pain to the world, and there's already enough pain. Frank helped David into the back seat. Michael got in beside him. The car pulled away from the curb. David sat there, numb, unable to process what was happening. "Where are we going?" David asked, voice barely audible. "Hotel. Get you cleaned up. Get you some food. Then we'll talk." "Michael, I don't deserve this. After what I did." "You're right. You don't. That's why it's called grace." David broke down completely, sobbed. 8 years of living on the street. 8 years of guilt. 8 years of knowing he'd destroyed an innocent man out of jealousy. And now that same man was helping him. It didn't make sense. It shouldn't make sense. But Michael Jackson had never made sense to people who lived by revenge. The hotel was modest, clean, warm. Michael got David a room. Paid for a week, gave him cash. They sat in David's room. David had showered, shaved. "Why are you doing this?" David asked. "Because you've suffered enough," Michael said. "I spent 8 years being angry. It just made me bitter. So I'm choosing to let it go. Not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace." David wiped his eyes. "I don't know what to say." "Say you'll get help. There's a rehabilitation center, counseling, job training. You can start over." "I can't sing anymore." "Good, because you weren't happy singing. You were jealous. But you can still have a life. You just have to choose it." Michael stood. "The lie you told hurt me. But people's opinions don't define truth. I know who I am." And Michael Jackson walked out. David checked into the rehabilitation center. 6 months, got sober, learned carpentry, never sang again, got a job, rented a small apartment, built a quiet life. June 25th, 2009. Michael Jackson just died. David wrote an article. "I destroyed Michael Jackson out of jealousy, a confession." He detailed everything. The lie, the streets, Michael saving him. His conclusion: "Michael taught me that grace isn't about deserving, it's about choosing. He chose grace. I'm sorry, thank you." It went viral. Millions of shares. Today, David Matthews is 68. Lives in Oregon, works at a homeless shelter. On his wall hangs Michael's photograph. Below it: "I tried to destroy him. He saved me. December 7th, 1996. I'm sorry. I'm changed." Because on a December night in 1996, a jealous rival learned that some people are bigger than the worst things done to them. And a superstar proved that grace is the most powerful force in the world. This story is inspired by Michael Jackson's capacity for forgiveness. All characters except Michael are fictional, but the message is eternal. If this moved you, share it with someone who needs to remember that jealousy destroys, but grace heals. 'Cause sometimes the bravest thing you can do is show mercy to someone who tried to destroy you.